We go back to the beginning with Murdock Manufacturing. When it started in 1853, it was actually my great-great-grandfather Murdock, and Lacey was a friend of his who was also a plumber, or tinner they called them back then. And so they created, a good bit of business in Cincinnati, Ohio, where they were starting, and did all kinds of plumbing for gas lighting and whatnot. They were steam suppliers. They were contractors, and they had a small supply house on the side. And then in 1857, when the patent was granted for the first anti-freezing hydrant, lawn hydrant, which allowed you to get drinking water year-round in an environment that had winter weather, they grew from there. And the hydrant became part and parcel of America's farmlands. You would find it in the railroads in the early days. And the source of potable water often came from a Murdock anti-freezing hydrant. That was a regional thing because, outside of the region, it didn't get cold down in Alabama and certainly wasn't cold out in California, but we were a regional company for many, many years. As you grew through the 1800s, of course, we went through a panic, and then we got into World War I. During the war years, we, of course, helped out as much as we can during the armament days. My father worked for Wright Aeronautical during the war. And then when all the soldiers came home, it was an unbridled enthusiasm throughout America because we had an opportunity to come home and create something bigger. And those were the days that you saw the travel trailers grow, the train travel was extensive. It was a wide open opportunity for Murdock to be part and parcel of all that new enthusiasm. If you had a camper behind you, you had to go find a place to camp. Well, Murdock was at the campground. If you were going to travel on the train, well, you know what? Murdock put fresh water on board the train, much like we did in the late 1800s and early 1900s. If you had an opportunity to go out and be in a park, and chances are you were out there with your family at a picnic, and Murdock was there at the picnic shelter. So having that long history of involvement with the public, I think is something, the reason being really, more than anything else, is why the Murdock brand remains strong. And as we continue the innovation with bottle fillers and new drinking fountains and new water coolers and sensor operated and all the things that we're doing to make it a much better product, we're building on the legacy of what it was in the very beginning.